While I won't ask any of you to admit if you've been an ineffective, supportive communicator, you can probably think of a lot of examples and illustrations where people have shown you ineffective support. That is, maybe they condemned and criticized you as you were trying to open up to them and share how you felt in a given situation. Or maybe you've had other people imply that your emotions and reactions to the situations just aren't warranted. They might say something like, well, that's just not that big of a deal. And you're going, what? It's a big deal to me. Or maybe they told you how you should feel in that situation or what you should do in that situation, and you just wanted someone to listen to you. Or they turned it back on themselves and they started telling all these stories about, well, I went through this, or this is what I did when this happened to me. And all of a sudden, what you thought was about you and you opening up and really needing some support became about them. And now you're showing them support. Or maybe you felt like somebody intruded. That is, you shared a little bit, but that was just because maybe they asked you how you were doing, what's up in your life. And so you shared a little bit, but then now all of a sudden they want more information. They're trying to get you to elaborate, and you don't feel comfortable. You feel like maybe they've crossed that line and your relationship doesn't merit the kind of intrusion that's happening. Maybe you feel like they're asking you to self-disclose in a way that would be inappropriate. So those are just some ineffective supportive messages. When someone's going through a tough time, they really just want to know someone's there to listen. And so that's one reason why I like pairing the listening chapter and support together. There are different supportive interaction phases. I want you to look at them. I'm not going to focus on them in the lecture, so please do look at them in the textbook. As we look more at message skills that can help you to develop your own supportive communication, you want to make sure that you develop your own clarifying supportive intentions. And that is that you learn ways that you can communicate to your relational partners your concern for the relationship, your affirmation of them, and your concern with them. Also, you learn how to buffer face threats, that is, comments and ideas that could be communicated during the course of a conversation that might have the other person feeling vulnerable. Positive face work is going to protect the other person's need for respect. It's where you affirm them, you encourage them. And then negative face work, which this may not seem like it makes sense to you, so make sure you learn this definition. Negative face work is when you support the other person's autonomy. So where you would indirectly offer advice. That way you wouldn't come across as telling them what to do, because you want to make sure that they have a sense of their own independence. Also, you want an other-centeredness in your supportive communication. And so you want to learn how to focus on the other person when you're showing support, and you want to limit self-references within your communication. Framing helps you to put the situation in a different light, come at it with different angles, and show those and talk about those angles with the other person. And then advice giving is another supportive message skill. One of the most important aspects of learning how to give advice is learning when to do it and when not to do it. Not necessarily exactly what advice to give, but learning when you need to speak up and when you need to keep your mouth shut, because not everybody wants advice when they're seeking out support. Support can be very different in face-to-face communication than it is in cyberspace when we're using internet technologies in order to communicate with others. The technology that we have today affords us the ability to communicate with people that are geographically separated from us. And this means people that maybe they don't have any friends that are going through the same circumstances that they are. They don't know anyone that's facing the challenge that they are, especially maybe related to a medical issue or something that has a stigma to it, like maybe someone who's diagnosed with HIV or someone that has had difficulty or an addiction to drugs. They may not want to speak out about this to other people. And so where do they find support? Well, technology is really affording these people the ability to link up with others that are going through similar challenges to them, so that they can identify with them and face those challenges together rather than feeling so alone and isolated. And it may be that also people are concerned about opening up about their feelings and problems. They feel very vulnerable with that, and going online gives them a degree of anonymity so that they feel like they can be a little bit more open to self-disclose. And so research has actually indicated that on cyberspace, people increase their self-disclosure than they would in face-to-face communication. And through specific chat rooms and support groups, people with specialized problems can find one another. And this is really interesting, and there's a lot of research that's being done in health communication that looks at how people with health problems can use the internet chat rooms and listservs in order to increase their information about their medical problem, in order to find people that have gone through that and to receive encouragement from them and advice from them. And so this is something that's burgeoning in interpersonal research, and we really are looking to see how technology affects our relationships. And in terms of support, this is something that can be very encouraging. The bad side of this is that if people seek only cyber support, where does touch come in, which we found can be very healing, having someone hold you and comfort you and touch you as they comfort you, pat you on the back. Where does that come in? Or how about the immediacy to it? There's a lack of immediacy in cyberspace. So those are some concerns that we may have related to that.